Okay, welcome everyone to our hangout today. We are going to talk about what it means to actually share this passion you have for your doTERRA essential oils in your home. Well, most of you have them in your home, some of you may not, and what that actually means and how you can bring income into your home. So I'm really excited to have all of you with me today, whether you're joining me live or maybe you're watching this as a recording later on. I'm not sure where you're at today, but I'm really excited that you are here. And I don't believe that it is an accident that you are here and you are joining me to learn how to unlock your health, wealth, and dreams with doTERRA. All right, so super excited to have you here. So a couple of housekeeping items. If you are on live and you're watching this live when I'm delivering this content on March 26th of 2024, and you're going through this and questions come up, I really invite you to go into the comment section, go find the little comment box on our Zoom and write down your questions, type them into the chat, because sometimes as we're going through, we get to the end and I'm like, hey, does anybody have questions? And we forget what those questions are. So I encourage you to have a notebook with you. The same thing as if you're listening to this as a recording after the fact. I do this version, this workshop, I host it live once a month, usually the second Tuesday of every single month. And I host it live because a lot of people like to attend live, but also a lot of times as I'm going through the month, as I'm having individual conversations with people that have attended live or watched this, or maybe somebody that's already sharing doTERRA and their lives, different perspectives come up. And a lot of times I'm like, hey, I want to share something a little bit different. And so I always am doing this once a month live, and then you always have the recording access so that you can learn and explore whenever it works for you throughout the month, which is one of the coolest parts about doTERRA that I am going to be sharing today, is the flexibility that it offers to kind of fit into our lives in a way that is fun and exciting and allows us to do other things in our lives. So if you're watching this as a recording, I want you to do the same thing. Instead of a chat box where you're going to be dropping those questions in, I encourage you to go over, get your notebook out and start to write down questions. Get curious. This call is not about you saying yes to being my next, six-figure business partner. If that's what you want to do, come on, let's go. Let's have some fun. But that's not what this call is about. This call is about you being curious and starting to wonder and starting to look at, what would it look like if I started sharing essential oils and holistic wellness with that are part of doTERRA products as an additional stream of income? And maybe that is in your family, maybe that is you already have a business and you're looking for additional streams. I want you to get curious. I want you to explore. You're here and you're an entrepreneur. It's always good to get curious and to explore all of the options you have out there. So write down your questions, and when you're done, we can schedule a chat. If you're watching this as a recording, we will totally schedule a chat. We will go in and we will figure out, we'll get your questions answered, and we'll see, is this a right fit for you? That's what today is all about. So let's just keep going here. I only like to talk, I'm going to be on here for about 20 minutes, maybe 20, 30 at the most. I don't want to take up all your time. This is a really brief introduction. I could go on and on for hours about the business opportunity, but I won't. All right. So the doTERRA business opportunity, I have a question for you. And if you're here and you're in the chat, where are you at? Are you already a loyal doTERRA customer? Are you wanting to get your oils paid for? Have you already said yes to sharing at one time, but you're not quite sure if you want to do that anymore? Do you like to inspire others to live a healthy wellness lifestyle? Are you kind of embarking on your own, or maybe you're, years into your journey and you're like, hey, doTERRA kind of fits perfectly in. We've got these, supplements and collagen and essential oils, and it really, really melds into my lifestyle. And you want to share that with other people. That's me. I have a passion for teaching women. You have different options, right? We have the medical options, which are awesome and amazing, and we want to have them. But what would happen if I also brought in a different option, right? You want to impact the world and you want to make money. This is a big one. Maybe you're exploring options. You want to bring in some additional income into your home. So what we're going to cover today, I've got kind of a little slide here, is I'm going to cover, we're not going to just talk about doTERRA today. So a little fun fact about me that some of you might not know, because some of you I know, some of you I don't know that are going to be listening to this, is that a fun fact about me is that in 1996, I graduated from high school. After high school, I went and lived in Costa Rica for a year. I was dead set on being a teacher. I wanted to educate other people. While I was in Costa Rica, I took some classes in education and I actually worked in the school system there. And I decided that teaching just wasn't for me. It wasn't the path I wanted to pursue. And so I decided to switch my major to business. Okay. So my second semester when I was living in Costa Rica, I took business classes. These were not in an English speaking school, by the way. This was at a completely immersed Spanish university, just like, any other Costa Rican or Tico would be taking classes. And I started to learn about business. Okay. So I did that for about a year. I came back to the United States and I enrolled at Iowa State University in Ames, Iowa, which is very close by to me now. And I got my degree in business management. Okay. When I graduated high school or when I graduated college, I wanted to create a global business and I wanted to be in global business. I had no idea how that was going to happen. And ironically, it has happened with doTERRA. But my degree is in business background. And that's why I'm telling you this, is because this isn't going to just be about doTERRA. If you're here, I want you to think and put your business owner hat on. And I want you to explore different options. And I want you to know what's out there on the market. Why are we seeking additional income right now? What in the heck is doTERRA? What is social selling or direct selling, network marketing? Those are different terminologies that kind of float around. What is it besides that stigma that we kind of get, like, oh, my friend's doing that MLM thing, right? We're going to address that because it's really not that bad. Why would you partner with doTERRA? How can you earn income with doTERRA? And what does it actually look like? Like, how much income can you use? If you're here, you're probably like, I don't even know. And how to get started. So that's what we're going to be covering in this. I don't just want to be like, hey, it's only about doTERRA. I want you to understand why doTERRA, right? And why is it so cool to have your own business? Because there's businesses popping up all over the place. Why would you explore doTERRA as an additional stream of income? So what I'm going to ask you to do now is I want you to just take a couple of breaths. If you have an essential oil next to you, you could grab it. You know what? I just grabbed Spanish sage. For some reason, that one's speaking to me right now. And I'm going to put a couple of drops in my hand. And I just want you to take a couple of breaths. And I want you to dream big. I want to invite you to dream a little bit. Sometimes in this world, we get so downtrodden because we have bills to pay, or maybe we can't find employment, or we have a job, but it's like sucking the life out of us. And we stop dreaming. We stop thinking about possibilities in our lives. And so what I invite you to do right now is I want you to just dream. I want you to open yourself up to dreaming just a little bit more. When I share something with you, instead of saying, oh, that's too good to be true, I want you to ask yourself, well, what if? What if I did that? What would happen? And start to see yourself in a different way. Okay? Start to see your life in a different way, because that's what I did several years ago. It's been about 12 years. I decided to dream. I had gone into business. I had gone the corporate route. I was the mom that dropped my son off the first thing in the morning and picked him up late at night. And that was the version of success that I had been taught. But then it started to not work. I decided, like, hey, I don't want to do this the rest of my life. I want to be home with my kids. And I started to dream about the possibilities. I stayed home. And then I was like, nope, there's something more for me. And that's when doTERRA landed in my home. It found me. I truly believe doTERRA finds us. And then I decided to dream a little bit. What if I shared some essential oils with other people? What if I brought all of these products into my home and it didn't impact our already very tight budget because we lived in LA on one income? What if I shared just a little bit more and I had some extra income so that we could travel? I could take my kids back to the Midwest. We lived in California. I could take my kids back to the Midwest to see family more, right? Because plane tickets were really out of the question at that point. What if My husband decided to come home with me? What if we moved across the country? What if I was always available? I started to dream step by step, and that's what I invite you to do today. Just dream and expand and open yourself up to some new possibilities that could occur, some new miracles, some new dreams, some new magic that might come into your life. If at the end of this workshop today, you decided to say yes and take a step forward in sharing doTERRA with others. Okay, so let's look first. Remember, we're going to kind of go back to, okay, everybody wake up again, right? Shake your body, wake up. I had you in a little trance if you had your essential oils in your hand. I want you to think about the value of creating cash flow, okay? The majority of people, the dilemma that many of us face is that we're trading our time, our lives, trading hours for dollars, right? We go to work, we work at X amount of hours, and we receive pay for that, right? We're making little impact in setting up, and I'm going to show you this in just a second, setting ourselves up for a financial future. And the solution, right? The solution might be that we have a business or a model to incorporate more cash flow. Did you know one of the biggest success tips of those that are millionaires or earning multiple, the ones that are set up for financial freedom in their lives, have multiple streams of income? The average millionaire has over 7 streams of income coming into their home, not just the one, right? And sometimes we think to ourselves, we use this excuse of like, oh, I don't have time. You do. If we say, hey, I'm going to decide to change this and I'm going to bring in some financial pipelines. So whether it's doTERRA that you're going to create as an additional stream of income or something else, there is value in creating additional streams of income. So, I work with a lot of people. I was just doing this, having a chat with a lady a couple of weeks ago, where she's had some different health things go on in her life. And right now she's got a mother that's in a nursing home that she's had to do a lot of, shifting and getting her mom into that nursing home. And she was like, Katie, I'm just so thankful that I have my doTERRA income so that I don't have to worry about all the time I'm taking off from my coaching clients and other things. I've got this steady income coming in because she understood 5 or 6 years ago the value of creating cash flow, and she chose doTERRA as her model. So there's great value in that. I don't think I have to tell you anything more about that. In 2020, the economic well-being of US households, I'm going to share some statistics, is in the group of 18 to 29%, only 28% were on a retirement savings on track, so setting themselves up. 30 to 44-year-olds, this number is kind of frightening. Only 34% of the US population of households was setting themselves up for retirement. So what would happen, so what this is saying is that if their job would, if they were supposed to retire tomorrow, or they didn't have a job tomorrow, over 70%, almost 70% were not set up for that retirement. What's really staggering is the number of 60 plus year olds. Only about less than 50% are set up for retirement, meaning they don't know what they're going to do when they retire, right? They don't have the financial security, right? These numbers are frightening. So what would make the biggest impact in your life right now? I want you to just ask this question, jot it down on that notebook that you have. What would make the biggest impact on your life right now? If you had, say, $100 more into your account, or 300 or 400 or 500 more dollars in, would you create more time to pursue your passions? Would you find fulfillment in being your own boss? Would you retire sooner? Maybe you would fight burnout. You would travel the world. For me, one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to stay home with my babies, right? And be there for all of their activities and not have to always answer to a boss. And when I first did that, they were really little and I just wanted to stay home. And now 12 years later, what I'm finding is that's even more and more impactful, because now they're in high school and they're teenagers and they have activities at all times of day. My son played baseball last summer and most of his activities are at 10 o'clock in the morning or noon. I was one of the only moms that could be there every single game because I've created this life of freedom, and I didn't even imagine that when I first got started. So a lot of times what we're going to find is that the rewards come as this business matures. And one of the cool things is doTERRA is not going anywhere. So this isn't a fad that you have to worry about. It's not going anywhere. Okay. So a couple of other statistics. Now, there might be a couple of you guys listening to this call, but for the most part, I'm working with women. And so I love these stats. Is although there are 5 million jobs available in the US for female, or 48% of female employees say they are watching the job market for opportunities or actively looking for a job. So why is that? Why is that? Why? Because women want flexibility within their jobs, right? 53% of stay-at-home moms say I have flexibility in their hours or work schedule is a major factor, right? So there's I work with a lot of stay-at-home moms that are like, hey, I want to work. I want to contribute financially I'm contributing in a big way to our children and their development, but I'm not contributing financially. And I would like to do that as a stay-at-home mom, but I got to have the flexibility. Where am I going to find that, right? 46% of female employees say flex time is the most important benefit a company can offer. And guess what? You can find all of that with doTERRA. Okay. So this is kind of like, I wanted to set the stage for why we're seeking, right? We're all here. So what is it for you? Why are you here? What are you curious about? Like what, are you like, hey, I need to replace my income tomorrow. I need to, I want to expand. I want to set myself up for retirement. Everybody has something. And sometimes you're just like, simply like, hey, I want purpose. Like I need purpose in my life. The day to day is not giving me my purpose. Okay. So now let's start to shift and look at why would we look at social selling, network marketing, direct sales. Those are all terms that kind of float around. And this is the term where a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to kind of flow the other way. But one of the things I want to tell you is that social selling, network marketing, MLM, whatever you want to call it, is actually the best business model for women that want all this, right? For those women that want to stay home or you want to enjoy retirement and be flexible and all of these things, like this is actually one of the best business models. This business model was built for women that want to homeschool, that want to stay home, that want to, or, it's also a business model that's built for, health practitioners or whoever that wants to bring in a business, an additional stream of income. So it gets a bad rap, right? Sometimes it can get a bad rap, and it's really because people don't understand what network marketing is, or they've had some kind of weird experience, right? I have people tell me all the time, like, thank you for not being weird about this. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't realize I wasn't being weird, because that's never who I'm like, hey, I've got an amazing product to teach you about, and I'm going to teach it, and I'm going to guide you, and I'm going to walk you through this process, because guess what? If you buy this same thing on a store shelf at Target, number one, it's not as high a quality, and Target is not going to walk you through how to use it, right? And that's what network marketing does. Through a network of people, of other humans, primarily women, not all, but primarily women, we teach people how to use the products that we sell. You're supporting a small business. The other cool part is it's got a built-in business model. Okay, built-in education system, low startup cost. Your company will do all of the fulfillment for you. Okay, you don't necessarily have to you don't have to worry about customer service. You don't have to ship. You don't have to create product, things like that. If you're looking at remember, we're going to pull in some other business aspects. If you're looking at any other small business opportunity, 9 times out of 10, you're looking for storefront. You're looking for, you have inventory, you have all of these things. Like if you want to open a gym, you have all the equipment, you have the inventory, you have all of the stuff, you have to put your class schedule together, you have to be the person that's doing all of the things. Now, I'm not going to tell you in doTERRA, you're not going to be wearing many hats, but if you have a cupcake place, you have to put all of the stuff in place. You have to have the product, you have to have everything. And a lot of times the startup cost for a small business is huge. It's huge. It's several $1,000s, and a lot of times you don't make a return for up to 5 years. So when you look at social selling, it's kind of like you're buying the franchise. They've already done the work. You're a client, like you're like when you're working with doTERRA or any other direct sales, I want you to think about UPS stores. They're franchised. McDonald's is franchised. Jimmy John's is franchised. That means that that company has done all the legwork for you. So when you create your doTERRA account, you're essentially purchasing the franchise rights to represent doTERRA. And we're going to give you the training and the tools and everything. And it's a low start, but instead of millions of dollars to buy like the McDonald's startup, the low cost of your investment is 100 PV, or about $100. And the only financial commitment is your 100 LRP every single month in order to get paid. But that $100 is the product that you're using. Okay. So we have this beautiful business model. Now, if you're looking at some other, like I've been calling in a lot of other people that have looking at multiple opportunities, I want you to ask them, what are my requirements to earn, right? Because not all of them are as low as $100 a month. Some of them are a little bit higher, and it's really important that you know that as you go into it, right? So low startup costs. Now, let's shift gears and let's talk about, what do you know about doTERRA, right? And, one of the things I forgot to mention at the beginning is you're going to receive a recording link to this workshop today. And it's going to have, this is probably where you're watching the recording, right? Somebody has sent you that link. There at the bottom of that page, there are going to be a lot of different goodies, QR codes, things like that. And so all of this information in here, you're going to have a recording of it. Plus, I want you to research. If you're starting a business, don't go into it blindly, right? Do your research, ask your questions. That's what I'm here for. If you don't see something and you're looking for it, you want to see doTERRA's income and disclosure statement, something like that, you got to let me know, right? I want you to be confident as you go into this, because if you're not confident in your product and you're not confident in your opportunity, guess what? You're probably not going to get very far, okay? Your belief in doTERRA and in the choice that you have made is going to make a huge impact on if somebody decides to hang out with you and learn about oils. Okay. So what do you know about doTERRA? Let's talk about it. Why would you partner with doTERRA? Okay. There's lots of reasons. One of the biggest ones, and I was just listening to a podcast this morning from another gal, and she was talking about, hey, part of network marketing and social selling is you're constantly meeting new people and talking to people about oils or whatever your product is. And a lot of times the product that people are trying to sell is not consumable. Okay. So I know we have somebody on here live that has sold other products, other direct sale company products, and it was not a consumable product. Okay. No, my first introduction to network marketing and direct sales was my mom used to sell Longenberger baskets. It was not a consumable product. So she constantly had to be finding people that wanted baskets, because once you have a basket, once you have a bag, once you have a XYZ, it's not something that people are going to be reordering. So you're constantly looking for new customers. What's really cool about doTERRA is that about 65% of the people that say yes to doTERRA, we have a consumable product, right? So you're going through it, like this one's dish soap, right? You're using dish soap every single day. It's the best dish soap ever, by the way, if you haven't used it. But an impressive 65%. That means 65%. So yes, you still have to find new people, but not at the rate that a lot of other direct sale companies are going to be at, which is around 12 to 13% retention. We've got 65 after that first product, or after that first one. Okay. Also, opportunities abound. A lot of times, maybe you're in a circle of friends that a lot of people are already using essential oils, but question, are they using doTERRA is always a question I have. And how many people do you know that aren't actually using doTERRA? So some stats, 66% of the US has never used an essential oil, but half of the 66% want to try oils. We're also in an era where a lot of people are looking more toward natural options and being empowered in their health. They realize that our current medical system, it's there and it's there to help us when we're sick, but there's a lot of things that we need to take ownership for in our lives so that we can live long and healthy lives. And that's on us. And so more and more people are exploring products to help them do that, which is what doTERRA does, right? Part of a huge wellness industry, $1 trillion wellness industry. So why partner with doTERRA? Let's talk about the three things. The product is first. We have product that is the most tested and the most trusted. Okay. We have exclusive and unrivaled products. Like a lot of the products that we have on the market, you might be like, hey, we've got a probiotic, right? That blows everybody else's probiotic out of the water. So even though we have the same products that a lot of other companies have, ours are top notch. There's exclusive and unrivaled products, no fillers or alterations, rigorous in-house and third-party testing, and natural product lines address a variety of wellness challenges, right? You can take that your phone and you can scan that little QR code if you want, if you're not watching on your phone. Or again, I have these links on that replay page for you, okay? The company, we're proven and expanding. Even in this down economy that we're experiencing right now, doTERRA is actually thriving. We're part of a $4.2 million wellness market. We have millions of customers and wellness advocates. We're in more than 28 international markets. We have sales in 110 countries. Essential oils are sourced from more than 45 countries. An exclusive team of innovators who have only over 150 years of combined industry experience. Everything we do is backed by science. All of our ingredients are pure. All of our oils are pure. You're not going to find the type of company that full transparency, right? For me, that's really important for a lot of people that are coming in. You want a company that you can align with their values. I can tell you that this is one of the companies to be with, right? So remember when I said I graduated from Iowa State and I wanted to have a global business, I didn't know how it was going to happen, but guess what? Now I have a global business with doTERRA. I use my Spanish. We have a huge Hispanic market within our team. So if you're here and you want to learn how to build in Spanish, we have that. Lots of really great options with this company, right? So the third reason to partner with doTERRA is the impact that we have, right? Not only are you working with a company that has amazing products and a company that you can trust, we have this impact around the globe. So when you use an essential oil in your home, it's not just you being empowered, it's also everybody around you and an entire global economy being impacted, right? So we're sourced ethically, we serve earnestly. Now, this is a link on the thing that you're going to want to explore a little bit more of, right? So doTERRA has a goal to improve lives of 10 million by 2030, which I know that we're going to do it. We have what we call co-impact sourcing. So a lot of times when we go into source the oils, we're sourcing them from these beautiful places around the world. We're generating jobs by doing that. We're giving them fair on-time payments, which is not normal within the essential oil industry. A lot of times they're not getting paid at all for all of the work they're doing, and kids are working in the fields. That's not how we operate. We're doing environmental stewardship, so we're making sure we can ethically source these, and we're creating long-term partnerships with all of our growers and partners around the world. It truly is one of the most beautiful models I've ever seen. I come from a really small family farm in eastern Iowa, and I'm telling you, this is it is amazing, right? And because of this, we have our Healing Hands program, which works to, it empowers people, and we create safe practices. We support a cause, and it's just, I could go on and on. This is probably one of my favorite pieces of doTERRA because of this initiative and the co-impact sourcing and the Healing Hands. That's one of the biggest reasons our oils do have those higher quality standards, and you get such amazing results with them. It's the combination of the company, the product, and the impact that we're making around the globe. Okay. You're not going to see that with a lot of other companies. Okay. So now we know you're getting excited. You're like, okay, I get it, Katie. There's this direct sale business model. I want to earn some money. I want to partner with doTERRA. And now you're like, oh, wait, but how much money do I make? What do I have to do? Do I have to do it like you? Do I have to show up and teach like you were teaching today? Do I have to teach a bunch of my friends? Do I have to be on social media? All of the questions are coming up for you. And if you have more of those questions, make sure you're popping them in the chat or you're writing them down on your notebook so we can chat through them. If I don't get through them right now, I have a lot that we're going to cover, that you know what your next steps are. Okay. So how do you make money? We have an entire system. I thought I had a different slide here. We have an entire system. Remember, I told you my business or my background is in business, and I originally went into teaching. So when I found doTERRA, it was like, oh, the pieces just fit together because I could teach others about essential oils and holistic wellness. Plus, I could have a large international business, which was what my dream was when I was 18 years old. It just took me about 15 years to figure out what that was going to be, but I figured it out, right? And so as somebody that loves business, I have systems and things in place for you. I'm going to walk you through those different systems step by step. We have a proven model. And if you can follow a system, you can figure out how to share doTERRA. Really? Okay. So how do you make money? You teach people about essential oils, you educate them, you maybe sample them, you give them an experience with an essential oil. You help get them educated or tapped into some resources to educate. You help them get their own account, right? You help them get their own account. So you're not trying to be, run around their product all over the place. And then you support them. You teach them, you love them, you teach them how to use oils. And don't worry if you don't know how to do that, I'm going to teach you, right? Maybe you're brand new to essential oils. I started sharing essential oils with other people before I knew exactly what I was doing, because, and that's the beauty of it, is that you have an entire support system. We have a team of over 12,000 wellness advocates. We have an amazing group of leadership. A lot of our leadership comes from health. We're our health professionals. So we have pharmacists that we can pull in for information, and midwives and doulas and physical therapists and chiropractors and nurses and doctors and acupuncturists. And we all have these different expertises, and we come together to support. So you don't have to know everything about essential oils to share them with other people. I'm going to say that again. You do not have to know everything. We're going to teach you how to connect into all that support, and we're going to teach you every single step of the way. Okay. All you have to do is have this passion in your heart for those beautiful essential oils, understand that doTERRA is a company, and trust that we've got your back, and do what we tell you to do, right? To a certain extent, you're going to do it with your flair and you're going to do it in your way, but we have a proven system. Okay. So could this work for you? Are you passionate about natural health? Do you love helping people? Can you follow a system and get things done? If you answer yes, of course you can do it. You can make this work for you. So what are the time commitment? Okay. A lot of people are like, wait. How much time do I have to do? Okay. So when I first got started, I had a couple of pockets of time when, because I had little ones. I had little tiny babies. Like Nathaniel was less than a year old and Benjamin was just in preschool. And so I had little kids. I only had like little tiny pockets of time because my husband worked all of the time. And so I just wanted to get my oils paid for. So oils paid for is 3 to 5 hours a week. Okay. Super simple, 3 to 5 hours a week. And you can do it in pockets of time. Again, I'm going to teach you how to do everything. 3 to 5 hours a week. It's the consistency with the action that makes the biggest impact. You want to supplement your income 5 to 15 hours a week, and you want to replace your income 15 to 30 hours a week. You can ebb and flow. So I started out wanting to get my oils paid for, and then I was like, ooh, I'm really good at this. So then I wanted to supplement my income. And then I was like, oh wait, but my husband we want to get out of California because his job is killing him. He's never home. He lives in another state. It was awful. And so then I'm like, whoa, I'm going to bump it up because we need this to replace it. Okay. It evolved, and just like it evolved for me, it can evolve for you. There's no wrong or right answer to this. We're all part of an ecosystem. So whether you're helping one person get started every month or 10 people get started, you're part of an ecosystem that's making an impact in the world. And that's pretty darn cool. Don't you want to be part of that? I want you to be part of it with me. Okay, so we're going to just throw this out. Okay, so estimated time needed. 3 to 10 hours per week. Again, you're going to get your products paid for. If you're doing it that way, your income goal is between $139 a month to $850 a month. right? So you're getting your product paid for. Yeah, and I understand $850 a month is getting a lot of product paid for, but maybe it's product paid for and you're getting some grocery money on the table, right? Maybe you're like, hey, I'm going to use $100 of this to buy my doTERRA, and then the other money, I'm going to use it for that grocery bill that keeps getting higher, the gas bill that keeps getting higher. Maybe you can put enough gas in the car to be able to go to the beach or on a family vacation or whatever that is for you. That's your 3 to 10 hours a week. Okay. Supplement your income. This is a little bit higher. You're going anywhere from 850 to 6,000 a month. The time commitment is 10 to 30 hours a week. Now, one of the things I'm going to tell you is I can't sugarcoat these numbers. Okay. Coming from a business background, first of all, I never lie. I always tell the truth. And second of all, I can't sugarcoat these. A lot of times, one of the biggest misconceptions people have and why MLMs get such a bad rap is because people think it's get rich quick. It is not get rich quick, okay? I can show you a system, but you have to put in the consistent activity to get the return, okay? You have to. There's not like, hey, I placed my order. Why isn't there a check? 9 times out of 10, when people come to me and they're like, hey, I'm not happy with my income, I'm like, okay, what are you doing? And the answer is 0. Okay. It's not, you still have to work. It's just like anything in this world. If you want to lose weight, you have to eat right. You have to exercise. You have to sleep well. You have to manage your stress, right? There is no easy button. And so I can't sugarcoat these numbers. So supplement your income, but I want you to think about that. $5,000 a month. How could your life be impacted for working 20 to 30 hours a week on your schedule? That's a big deal, right? That's a big deal. Because if you got a part-time job working 10 to 30 hours a week, you would not be making the same kind of income. And you wouldn't have the flexibility that you have with this. Okay, moms that I might be talking to right now, moms, I want you to think about how many times your kids are sick or they don't feel well. First of all, you've got oils to empower them, and so hopefully they won't get sick as much. But at the same time, like, you can also do this as a side gig. Replace your income. That's 25 to 50 hours a week. I don't like the 50 amount because I don't think it's true. I have learned how to work smarter, not harder. And so I would say 50 or 25 to 30 hours a week. I believe that we don't have very much productivity after 30. So 25 to 38 hours a week doing the right things, you're going to move on up the scale. Okay. So that's kind of what it looks like. Now, if you're saying to me, I don't have this on the slide, but I do want to offer this as an option. If you're like, hey, I got on here and you want me to spend 3 to 5 hours a week doing all the things, I don't have time for that. I don't want to learn the system. It's just not in my game plan right now. We do have a fourth option. And the fourth option is called Refer a Friend. I am in April going to be doing a workshop on just how to be a Refer a Friend. Refer a Friend is really where you have a link and you share it with people, but you're not really like, you're not following up with them. You're not doing as many of the activities. You're just kind of like, hey, nonchalantly, when it works for you, you share. Somebody asked about the sunscreen you're using at the baseball game. You share a link with them. You get a little kickback and to help your oils get paid for. So if you can't commit to 3 hours a week, it's not fair to the people you're getting started. And we would love to explore the Refer a Friend option with you. So just know that that's an option. I just don't have it on here. Okay, so you put it all together. Here it is. Endless possibilities. Endless possibilities. Dream with me. Dream with me. Do you know, when I first got started and somebody said, hey, when's your diamond date? I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't want to be diamond. I just wanted to be elite. I wanted to get my oils paid for. And that is always where we start with. I don't care if you want to go all the way to presidential diamond and be earning $114,000 a month. We're going to start you at elite, because everything else works the same. And so this is not a detailed comp plan. I just wanted to show you about the possibilities, okay? So I'm gonna ask you that question again. We kind of looked at it at the beginning of this workshop. We're about ready to wrap it up. What would make the biggest impact in your home right now when it comes to your finances? Is it full financial freedom? Is maybe paying off some debt, right? Is it a generous savings account so you don't have to worry when it's like, oh my gosh, my car needs new tires or the transmission went out, which happened to me recently. Is it a generous savings account so you're not stressed about that? Is it charitable giving and being able to give back to your community in bigger ways? Is it your time freedom? right? Do you have little kids that you want to have time freedom for? Maybe you have big kids like me and you want your time freedom. Or, we've got people that are retired and they like their time freedom. Is it building your dreams and you just want to find something that lights you up and that you're passionate about? I had no idea that doTERRA would be the thing that lit me up and gave me that global business. Is it self-improvement, right? This is like, oh my gosh, like we do so much self-improvement in this. I'm not the same person. It's all built into one. Is it spending more time with your family? Is it traveling more? Is it retirement? Is it extra money for your groceries and household expenses? Is it money to pay for your doTERRA wellness? What is it right now? And let's go find it. Let's go do it together. Let me show you how to unlock your dreams with doTERRA. So next step, you are going to connect into the next step is you've watched this video, you are going to respond back to me if I've been the one working with you, or you're going to get back to the person that invited you to this class or however you found it. We're going to get everything set up for you. Okay, we're going to get you plugged into trainings. We're going to have your resources and everything for you. In April, I have we have classes every week, so you don't even have to learn how to invite to the class if you haven't been to a class yet. We have one on Thursday at 1 p.m. Again, it's recorded. It's always recorded, so you can watch it whenever you want. And if you're ready to say yes and to start inviting, we're going to teach you exactly how to invite, because that's your number one goal. For the first 10 people you help getting started, your number one goal is really to invite them. I'm going to help you do all the rest. I'm going to teach them. I'm going to help you support them, or your upline is. And your job is to invite. So it's really important that you come to that call in April. And so what you're going to do is you're going to respond to us. We're going to help you. We're going to get you set up, and you are going to be ready for next steps. So here we go. Success is simple. Focus your actions to create lasting results. With doTERRA, you have the opportunity to create and live the life you desire by changing the lives of others. It's called servant leadership. As you build a financial pipeline, you increase the possibilities to live and give more. Success is a sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. I'm going to tell you right now, there is nothing hard about doing this business. If you love your oils, it's simply about sharing your passion for oils with others, giving them an experience, and inviting them to learn more. Bottom line, that's all it is. It's very, very simple steps done day in, day out. Now, those steps might be a little bit uncomfortable at the beginning, but that's what we're here to teach you. We're here to teach you, to guide you, and to take you on this beautiful journey for you to unlock those dreams. To unlock those dreams and additional income, or whatever that version of freedom is for you. And we're here to hold your hand every single step of the way. So once you've had a chance to watch this, okay, and for those of you who are on live, we're going to go to Q&A in just a minute. Go check out the links that are on the page and make sure there's a couple of different options on that page to contact me. You can email me, you can text me, you can Facebook message me. I don't care. I check all of them all the time. But let's sit down and let's have a conversation, and let's come up with your next steps that align with your dreams and where you want to go by sharing your passion with doTERRA. So excited to see you soon. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and joining me. I hang out in the Zoom room if you're here, and if not, go check out all of those resources, and I'll be patiently waiting for your call.